is nostalgia time once again, and welcome to the first of 6 parts of the Dell mini series. First up, we have the Dell Latitude D610, which shipped with XP Professional. So, as you can see, there's the genuine advantage, which warns that the product must be activated in order for it to be properly licensed. But here we really do not have much here. But we do have Dell's wireless card, all the default XP games, and all that. So let's go ahead and log off of the administrator and see if we can log into the Dell account. Looks like yes, we can. And we'll run Explorer. No, we will not restart. And let's see what's on here. Well, same as before. So it's just a standard Dell installation of this Latitude of Windows XP with nothing too exciting to see other than having all the updates. Next up is the Dell Inspiron E1405, which is one of the Media Center Edition laptops of the time. So it's already loading into Media Direct. Okay, we have a disclaimer that says that this gives access to all media files stored on computer except for licensed and private content. Could include some music or videos purchased online, but you can access them in XP. So this is just a reminder. So essentially this Media Direct thing is it's a media extension of Windows XP. So essentially you can access your music without having to go into Windows. However, there are some limitations. Licensed content you can only access from Windows XP. You can't access them here in this menu. But I saw a bar at the top while it was booting, so Control F11 restores the system. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's see what this Media Direct is about. So, and of course, it doesn't have anything, has nothing to play because there's no operating system on the disk. But essentially, that's what this is. And it looks like there's actually some sample songs already. So, we got some artists, some songs. But, of course, I'm not going to play them all. Of course, watch DVDs, videos, and even view pictures. And it looks like all the sample pictures from XP carried over. Nice. Okay, so we're going to exit Media Direct, which will boot us back into Windows. However, there is no Windows partition to boot off of. So, what we will do is once we see the Dell screen, we'll hit Control F11. Okay, it looks like that stopped it. Press F8 to trace. Alright, so then we run dsr fix/f. And yes. Yes. Yes to all. I think this might work. Let's try it. So let's restart. And then we'll do Control F11 again. And there we go. We got it. So here it is. This is the restore partition, which looks almost similar to XP. So this says, welcome to the Dell System Recovery Tool, and will restore your OS and software back to the way it was when you first purchased your computer. And this gives the warning that everything will be lost. If you have any data you need to back up, you need to click reboot, boot into Windows, get the data you need, and then come back to this menu. So we will restore the system, and this is the final warning, and we will click confirm. And now the restore process should begin. can see Ghost is automating everything. So there we go. So it is now formatting the hard drive and reinstalling Windows. And I believe this will come with all of the programs and everything from the factory, so can't wait to see what this is all going to look like when it's done. So we'll give it a few minutes. So the restore process was successful, and when you turn your machine on for the first time, you're actually greeted with this end user license agreement screen, which is something that nobody even does anymore. This says, before using your computer, please read the Dell end user software license agreement that came with your computer. To comply the terms and conditions of this, you must consider any CD or diskette set part of Dell installed software as backup copies of it installed on your computer's hard drive. If you do not accept, please call the customer assistance telephone number listed in the system documentation. So that says to press any key to accept. And then it gives the service tag and the service code, which you can use to look up drivers and get support for your specific machine on Dell's website, which we do not need because this is a virtual machine. And you will only see that once, only on the first boot. So after that screen, it loads into Windows for the first time, and of course the setup will go as usual. However, there will be some Dell tweaks to it. As it's booting here, my school actually uses Dell technology for their computers, and this was my school's first OS. Well, that I know of right now. But then came Windows 7 and Windows 10, and now is it going to be Chrome OS and Windows 11? Or is it just going to be Chrome OS? Well, I don't know. Well, that is as of now, as of the time of this episode's release. We're going to see what this originally came with, and I can tell that it came with Service Pack 2 or 3, and right away the sound drivers don't work, and we didn't get any sort of animation. And it said, thank you for purchasing this computer from Dell. Oh, actually, the audio does work, but it's quiet. It's quiet on my part. I had the speaker volume so low. I'll turn on the desktop audio so you can hear the whole thing. And we don't get any music. So, of course, it is US. We are in the Central Time Zone. This is actually Media Center Edition 2005, so it should come with Service Pack 2. And we'll leave the computer name the same, so we'll just hit skip. And we're going to skip connectivity to the internet. No, we will not register with Microsoft. And here are some of the things that they have. You can enhance a connection with 6 months free of AOL or Earthlink. Or if you have a high-speed connection, you can get a $100 mail-in rebate for some select retailers. Offer expires 9/30/2006, September 30th, 2006. Well, the offer is long expired. But then here's all of the dial-up and broadband internet connection options. As I said, AOL, Earthlink, and there's also a 3-month trial of Net Zero on here too. If that's another option. But of course I'll be using it. And it says, thank you. And here's the custom screen that they have. Mentions about dial-up and high speed. And it says, warning, this next step will take approximately a minute, during which time the screen is blank. Do not turn off your computer during this time. So we'll click finish. And now, this is what it said. So it said, do not turn your machine off, as it will do the rest on its own. And here we are. We are at the desktop of this install at last. So let's see what we have here. We have a McAfee 90-day trial. Yeah, go ahead. We'll use this information. Not sure. Accept the end user license agreement. No, I'm not setting it up. Nope. Air loading this file. I'll just see if I can. Looks like I can't get it to close, so I'll just force it to do so. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let's see what we have. We have a link to the owner's manual, which opens up in Adobe Reader 6, version 6. So here it is. I see Install Shields Update Manager is on here. So you can see what the computer would look like. And also options for power protection and other important things about the machine. Well, I just renewed it for the purposes of this demonstration. And here's Dell's support program. This is an automated notification system that offers you updates, upgrades, and information relevant to your computer, which is sort of what Dell is doing nowadays with their support assist thing that they have, which you can have it'll automatically check for driver updates and other things from Dell, and then we'll tell you, hey, we have a driver for you. This is a new driver. Please restart to apply it and whatnot. Yeah, sure, I guess. Anyway, we're here to see if there's any custom screensaver. And nope, it looks like Dell did not include any. However, we have a My Pictures Premium slideshow. We also have a Corel photo album slideshow, and I see what looks to be some Plus themes actually are already on here too. So I believe it comes with the Microsoft Plus package pre-installed. So here's the user guide for Windows Media Center. Educate you learning from Dell, providing online courses at affordable prices. And then this is the offer for AOL. Here's AOL 9. Please make sure that no one's using the phone right now. Goodbye. And then here's the games, music, and photos. So here's all the games and photos and other utilities. There's a 60-day trial of Corel Photo Album. There's PaintShop Pro. There's Music Match. And here's Dell's Games utility from WildTangit. There's McAfee Personal Firewall that wants to gain access to the internet. Okay. Great news. More games and apps are available. Click update now. Is it like I care? But yeah, here's all the games we have. We got Polar, we got Golfer. We've even got Bejeweled, and then this X, I'm assuming, removes the game from the list or from the device. While clicking launch just installs it for the first time. The content you are about to enjoy requires the web driver. To proceed, click next, agree, and now it will install the files. We have Roxo Creator, which of course burns DVDs and other things. Please answer the following. I'll just say no. And music matches, of course, what you think it is. It's a music jukebox. And then what does Corel Paint Shop? Yes, I accept the terms and conditions. I'll just accept the photo album too. Just get them both done. So here's what Roxo Creator looks like. I'm guessing this is Dell's edition, so just what you think it is. You can create backups, burn disk images, and everything like that. So we can just close that out. Yeah, just granted access. I don't care. Everything wants access. So here's Coral Paint Shop. Let's launch the photo album. Of course, you can look. So this is the starter edition. So it includes a free preview. Again, this is a 60-day trial. However, you can continue to use premium features. So essentially, the premium features will be limited after 60 days. So we can go to the digital photo lab. But really, this is actually like a little bit of a tour, essentially, as to how the program is used. And of course, you can look for stuff everywhere on there and whatnot. And then here is that Paint Shop Pro. Looks like Paint Shop Pro version 10. So, of course, you can get photos, you can retouch and restore, you can add effects to them. In the Photos app now on Windows 11, you can do just that. And this is Dell's game tool, so you only have 60 minutes of playtime before you are then required to activate I should say, buy the game. So we'll go ahead and close that manager out. And let's see what else we have while it loads. So nothing. Media Center. These are some of the application is requesting access to the internet. Of course, it's not going to sound that well. Welcome to Visual 2. I'll just go A. We played this game too much on this show, haven't we? I don't know if I like it with the choppy audio, but I guess it's just the way VMware is. Yeah, I'm not going to play too much of that. Sure, go ahead. And see, I only played 1 minute, so the trial period is actually in total. So, like a total, and then it'll just terminate it. Let's see, what media programs do we have? Gem Master. Of course it isn't, but of course it'll run. Yeah, grant access. No, I don't want to join. No, don't even try. And I have to say no. So there's the media playback controls. And what do we have here? Gem Master, which I'm guessing is one of the add-on games. 4 Media Center preloaded from the factory. And it seems like we're not getting anywhere here. Is requesting access. Do you want to? Yes. You must accept the terms before running the game. I guess it'll only ask for it once. The Wild Tanget. With the flying W. Gem Master Mystic. I'm guessing you control that thing with the TV remote or something. But then again, I don't want to go too much into this, so. Nothing interesting there. There's AOL9, the Broadcom driver, the photo center. There's the Creative Sound Blaster already installed. There's the media source, which actually is this thing up here. So the audio converter is basically where you convert audio formats. And then the media source player plays, records, organizes. And you can edit WAV files in Wave Studio, which is I guess sort of a similar version of the sound recorder. And we can play it back, which is, I guess, exactly as it is, but in the choppiest voice possible. And then these are some product settings here. Sound font, what did that say? Sound font bank manager? What's this? What is this, a piano? Can I can literally play the piano on this. Dang. Cannot find sound mixer. That's bad. Speaker settings, I don't even know if that'll open. But then we have Dell's Cinep player, Sign player, Sync player, and it doesn't work. Great. Alright, what else do we have? Driver reset, and here we go. Sonic Cinep player was just that other thing. Let's just see if either of these two opens. But then again, here's where your service tag is. So that's just some information on your service tag. And then this is some accessories. These are the games that Dell includes from the factory. I see Scrabble is also on here too. Pretty neat. And then what else have we got? We have its quick set driver, then Dell support stuff, and we can open the page at any time. And of course it's got to extract its files for the first time before even opening it. A Dell Wireless's card, XP Games, Java, McAfee, Modem Helper. What's net waiting? Is this a like telephone utility? The Print Me Internet Printing. It's got WordPerfect Office. So I'm guessing this is like a free version of Office. So I want to see what all this is. Perfect Expert. Yeah, it's just going to keep nagging at me and whatnot. Clipbook. And then I see we have digital media enhancements on here too. See, we have QuickTime's Player as well. So, yes, I accept all the terms and all agreements. And Clipbook is essentially a clipboard. You can write down names, descriptions, everything like that. So, it wants you to install the driver again, even though we've already installed it. A feature-rich alternative to Microsoft Office. Configuring perfect expert projects. Let's see what else. Roxo is that same tool we had. And then the digital line detect. And then we have some of the Windows Plus packages, like its own audio converter, label maker, dancer, and party mode, which we've looked at back in the Acer mini series, so this should be familiar. And Quattro Pro is essentially like Excel. Well, that's basically what it is. And WordPerfect is essentially Microsoft Word. Thank you for using WordPerfect 2012 or version 12. And then I'm guessing then that other tool is PowerPoint. The page is not responding, and I can't really seem to move the dancer out of the way. But I will open up the properties and show you that this should be Service Pack 2, because Service Pack 3 has not been out yet around the time. Yep, Media Center Edition 2005, Service Pack 2, manufactured by Dell. And then let's see if we can play a QuickTime sample movie. So open movie in new player. Yep, let's play the sample movie. I'm not really gonna play around too much with Scrabble. Wow, the taskbar is already getting filled up quite massively here. You've chosen to end 12. That's it. That's it. That's all it has to say. Okay. And considering that, I believe it also has the special sounds from Microsoft Plus. So those should already be on here as well. So we'll find it in sounds and audio devices. It'll take us to sound schemes anyway, because it'll pull up that same menu. Here's the Scrabble. Let's try and play the sample movie again. This time see if we can see it. Yeah, that's all it's gonna let us see. My gosh. Well, we got a little more of it in. So, no, it doesn't look like it comes with any of the other sounds. So, it doesn't come with the plus sounds. These are the default ones. So, nothing too exciting there. So, yeah, this is essentially that same Scrabble game we took a look at earlier on. Alright, let's see if I can... Alright, we're done with this machine. Let's move on to the next one now. See how many more times we can play the sample movie and loop it. Just before it gets shut down. Well, that was fun. Let's see how much fun the next one is. So, we are trying the Inspiron 1505 next, and right now it's not looking fun at all. Because when I booted up the first time after attaching the VHD file that I have, after trying another copy of it initially, well, after restoring the ghost, so I had a ghost file of this machine, and after restoring it, it said that there were bad sectors, and it didn't even give me the option to repair. It didn't even repair at all, because it said fatal error on disk, cannot perform action on that DSR fix disk. So I had the VHD lying around, so I decided to just go and throw that in there, and we got further, mostly, only to come to an error that said that a critical boot file for Windows was missing or corrupted. So what I'm doing is I am loading up a retail installation disk of Windows XP, the home edition that is, and I'm going to see if it'll give me the option to repair the installation. Set up XP now. To repair, press R. So, the recovery console. Alright, let's see. How do we use this here? Attach, check disk copy. Alright, let's do fix boot. Yes, write a new boot sector. Okay, and then fix MBR. Are you sure? Yes. I want to write a new master boot record. And then, does this have a BCD? Okay, it doesn't. It said that a specific boot file was missing. So, fix boot, fix MBR. Okay, so I don't think writing a master boot record, I think, will work. Volume appears to be in good condition and was not checked. Okay. Alright. I don't think fixing the boot record's going to do anything, but let's find out. So what it did was it replaced the Dell boot record with the standard one from Windows. So that's what happened. So it just wrote over the Dell boot record. So that's why we're just seeing NTLDRs missing instead of Dell. But looking at the archive photos, this machine is exactly the same as the other one, except it's in Russian. So we're not missing out on too much. So next up is the Dell Dimension E521, and just like the 1405, we have the same screens as before, and that's the service tag for it, except instead of the laptop example, it is being shown in the desktop form. So here's the same out-of-box experience from before, except now it's in a much larger resolution. But of course, everything is correct. Central time zone does Eastern by default. This is the home edition of XP. So this will either be Service Pack 3 or 2. It is most likely going to be Service Pack 2, because by the time 2009 came around, everybody was using Vista, or preloading Vista, or in the very early stages of preloading Windows 7 on their machines. I was about to put the wrong name in there. Now, instead of showing the internet thing, we just see the warning below the configured for internet access thing. Now it'll do some final steps, and then we will be ready to roll. Alright, the activation timer ran out, so we're in safe mode here, but really everything is just about the same as we saw in the other one. Just the usual things, except we have the interactive training for XP Home, which we've already seen on our last mini-series we did, the HP, so that should be nothing different. As most of this looks about as similar to the other Dell machine that we just looked at, except there's Google Desktop, McAfee, comes with Office 2003. I'm assuming it's a trial. It's got Works as well. We know what those are. Coral Snapfire is on here. We can't look at that, sadly. We have the Real Player, the Roxo DVD Creator, Adobe Reader 7, plus Photo Story 2, the Modem Diagnostic, and the Yahoo Music Jukebox. And that's really all there is to see on this machine. Comes with Service Pack 2 of XP Home, Nothing special. No plus packs, no nothing. So that's that. Next one. So here it is, the Dell Inspiron 2200. This is the next one. We didn't even have to go through the end user license screen upon first boot, like with those other two, including the Dimension, which we just looked at. Well, only for a brief time, that is. And this will also come with XP Home Service Pack 2. Judging by there is no addition label on the boot screen. Right away, there it is, the same resolution as we just had. Same as before. If purchasing from Dell, that is how everything should appear. As I just said, this is Home Service Pack 2. Sure, go ahead and do automatic updates. No to the computer name. We're not putting my network at risk. No, we are not registering with anything. And we have the high-speed dial-up connection. And we are entitled to 6 months of America Online or Earthlink with no fees. So, same as before. As we saw with that Inspiron, who will use this machine. And as you can see, we have the new AOL icon. And this is the icon that's supposed to be on the desktop for offers. And there's the 6 months of Earthlink included, other than 3 months like with that other one. So now, one more reboot, and then we'll be at the desktop. The administrator is a cow. Interesting. But pretty much what this is, it's the same as we saw before. There's 3 months of NetZero, 6 months of Earthlink, AOL. There's the high-speed internet icon, which opens up an HTML document talking about the kinds of internet connectivity options. There's the owner's manual, and what's Simple Start Edition? This is for QuickBooks. And let's see what else we got. Typical XP accessories. There's the interactive training once again. America Online 9, Dell support, accessories with the code, quick-set driver, support tool, wireless card, XP games, network adapters, Java Start, McAfee, Encarta Encyclopedia Standard Edition. Quarterly pop-up for everything else that they've got. The new Encarta is now in stores. So you can view parts of the world. We'll have to use the arrows to navigate around the globe. And we can... And then we have some definitions, but we would need a disk in order to copy them over. And then you can access Encarta from the search bar. There's Office Tools. There's the Picture It. But yeah, sure, that's really what that is. And then there's Works, the Modem Helper, Net Waiting, Print Me, QuickBooks, then QuickTime, the Real Player Sonic, the startup stuff, and that's really it. And that next one is the Dell XPS 15Z. We are finally moving away from the XP era of Dells in this set. So now the final two are based on Windows 7. Or as I should say, they came preloaded with Windows 7. Because by the time 7 came out, XP's latest service pack was Service Pack 3. And that was the only service pack that was still receiving updates by the time mainstream support ended in 2009 or 10, somewhere around there. where it then got additional updates until then, until its end of support in 2014. And it doesn't work. Error code, all this stuff. So, the final machine of this set is the Dell Inspiron N5110, which came preloaded with Windows 7. Yep, as you can tell, both by that screen and the boot logo. Well, then we saw for a split second. I should really say a split second, but we saw it for a second or two. And now we got the Vista boot animation. Because by this time, everybody stopped preloading XP on their computers, with the only exception being for some of those smaller netbooks that can't even run the basic editions of Vista. But then there are manufacturers that were going more premium and preloading Windows 7 on their machines. And of course, this is in Russian, so I should know how this works. Here's the factory image, and yes, let's proceed. Okay, the restore was successful, and now we're booting into Windows 7 for the first time. Well, let's see if it'll actually boot all the way. So we see starting Windows in Russian, of course, because it's a Russian copy of Windows 7. And there it is. Setup is preparing your computer for first use. It will check the system performance. So here it is. This is in Russian, but I can change it to English later on if I so choose. This is in the Russian keyboard layout, but I'll switch it to English US. 5110, I'll name it. I'm not going to do a password. This is Home Premium Service Pack 1. And we'll just keep everything as it is. We'll just tell it that this is a home network. So let's see what this copy of 7 Home Premium has to offer. Essentially, with the whole restore process wise, it's literally the same thing as the Dell Vostro, except the only difference is that this is the Home Premium Edition and this copy of Windows is Russian. Okay, we have a couple of messages here. One is Dell's support thing, and the other is a hardware message saying that you need to restart, but we will not do that. And basically, these are the license terms and agreements from Dell on hardware support and software stuff. Now, on the software side, as I've mentioned, I've been able to turn a Portuguese copy of Windows 7 back in the HP mini series to English. Now, let's see if we can do it, and I can show you how it was done on this Russian copy. But first, let's look at all of the software that comes preloaded. So we don't see anything on the desktop, but this is the page I was going to open up. This is Dell's Getting Started Guide, which has Sync Up, which makes it easy to access music, photos, videos, and documents from all your devices in any place that has a web browser. And let's see what this is. This is a control center. What is this doing? This is sync up, and this is about pretty much all it does. And then it has McAfee Security Center. And of course, Dell Data Safe Local Backup is Dell's Restore utility. And then these are just some final things to note about product support from Dell. And there are some gadgets you could put on the desktop from them, but they're not really anything too special because these are the exact same gadgets that are bundled by default in Windows 7. And then there's Windows Easy Transfer, where you can transfer your data from your old computer. And then there's Dell's Support Center, which of course you can get hardware and software support from Dell. So let's close the control center here. And let's see what Live Central is. I'm guessing this is a photo gallery. So you can post to YouTube on this thing and some other social media platforms. And this says this version of Dell Support Center is not compatible, or did it say failed to identify license or something? And this says you do not have the correct graphics driver installed. And that's what the sync up thing is. This is Nero's update tool that they have. Close it so we can look at all the other programs. We also have Adobe Reader 10. We have Office 2010, which again is a trial. Stage Remote, I think that was what that program was. Let's see, it says accept. And Stage Remote and that you prefer settings. So I'm guessing this is, we'll find out what this is. I can tell this is a photo gallery, because then we have some pictures provided by this program, and then we have the photos that usually come by default in Windows 7. So essentially it acts like a secondary file explorer, but really it isn't. So here I'll try and close all this crap so we can keep looking. We have Zinio Reader 4, and I see we have Live Essentials bundled here as well. So there's Windows Live Messenger and all that stuff. And then we have Dell's utilities, the Sync Up, the Dell Stage, and you can also get weather conditions as well. all in one place. This is about, air. What does that say? Desktop weather gadget has stopped working. Well, that can't be good. Let's see, accept. The stage remote is like, what do you want to transfer or something? And then there's Dell's Webcam Central, Intel stuff, McAfee, Silverlight, Nero 10, NVIDIA's 3D Vision, Roxio Creator Starter. There's the rest of Windows Live's Essentials. Then we got Windows 7's default stuff, games, accessories, and everything like that. And now if we go to properties, this is Home Premium Service Pack 1. So that's really everything that comes bundled with this. Now let's see if we can make it all easier to read. So let's try and see if we can change the language. So we go to the home page and we go to date and language. It says Finland. So I think they put the most likely countries up at the top. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to change it to Australia because all I care is I want it English. And then this is where we change it to USA. Scroll it up and we'll see more languages. Let's see, we have a Spanish USA. I think they put the most likely languages up at the top. English United States. And this is what it's going to show. And we'll hit apply. And now we have the time and date in US. Now, this is where we change the system locale. I see it's already detected English US, so we'll make that the language. And can we delete this keyboard? Up on the list, apply. And I'll see, we'll delete Russian and hit OK. So there we go. We now have the English US keyboard layout. Now we just need to change the system locale then to English United States. Probably just need to keep scrolling up. Chinese, I'm guessing this is Spanish USA. English USA. Yep. English. We'll click OK. And now it reads that the system language has been changed. We now need to restart. So it mostly worked. But as you can see, now all error messages display in English. So most of it worked. However, other elements did not. Because you could see the rest of the system is still in Russian. So we've only got one of the error messages to correctly display in English. So that means we'll need to head back and we're going to change the system locale. Because that's what got the thing to work. You can see the home network thing coming up. And this, I think, changes the locale. So, welcome screen. So, the welcome screen and boot screen both still display in English. Let's see what these checkboxes do. Apply to welcome screen and user accounts. Okay. The welcome screen remains in Russian. Let's head back to the settings and try to see if we can further convert it to English. So that's Windows Live. So this says delete all change parameters. No. This one is the same thing. Same thing here. Same thing here. Alright. Where do I remember going to change the system locale? Well, yeah, this is the best I can do because now I can't even remember how I did it. Managed to do it on that Portuguese copy of Windows 7. But hey, at least it was worth the shot, though. So that's going to do it for part 1 of the Dell miniseries, the first of 6 parts. We've got a whole bunch of Dells to go, and we'll see you next time when we do the next set.